Paul is in court to claim £835 for the outstanding amount owed for driving his friend to his gigs as a pub singer. Defendant Steve says payment was dependent on him getting paid, and as he didn't always make enough money to cover expenses, he owes nothing.
Steve, you, as I understand it, have had a career in all sorts of different branches of entertainment.
That's right, Judge.
Some time ago, as I understand it, you decided to take your career to the next level, right?
Absolutely.
Where would you perform mostly?
Working men's clubs, pubs, that type of thing.
What was your repertoire?
Party vocalist.
Right, so what's in your repertoire? What sort of songs that I might have heard of?
Amarillo. Tony Christie. Amarillo. YMCA. Grease Lightning.
OK, yes. Not that I'm a little bit concerned that I said, what song have you heard of? And you went through your repertoire and you said, Judge, YMCA?
Sorry, Judge.
Paul, you, as I understand it, became aware that Steve needed to get to his gigs, true? And so you offered a service to drive him to and fro.
I did, yeah.
When did you first offer that service?
It was in May 2014.
How much did you say you would charge him?
Well, basically, at first, it was just petrol money, to about £20, something like that.
Now, that's a very generous thing to do for a friend. You offered to just cover your costs and drive him there. Were you particularly also looking forward to the evenings of Steve's singing?
Yes and no. I was at first.
And what was the high point at first? What was his most memorable gig?
Probably one in Evesham, I would think.
What happened in Evesham?
It was the sound system went down and it was pretty awful.
I need a moment. I asked you... I asked you what the high point was about driving your friend to your friend's gig.
That probably was
talking! Was it his amazing singing? Was it his Do You Know the Way to Amarillo? Was it his homage to Barry Manilow? Oh, no. The best part is when nobody could hear him. What's the level of the debt now?
£835.
Steve, in many instances, he's taken you to these gigs, so why hasn't Paul been paid?
Well, again, in finances, we are in a recession, Judge. Sometimes I get gigs cancelled last moment, or agents don't pay me.
Paul, you drove Steve to his gigs and you had an agreement, which you both accept, that you would be reimbursed and in fact paid for the chauffeur work that you did. You allowed Steve to carry on into credit for 12 months, running up a debt of £835. That was a contract you had between the two of you, which by Steve's admission is enforceable. Steve, in reply, you have a legitimate legal point, which is to say that it was always understood, not necessarily by Paul, but by anybody, that he would be paid in circumstances where you were paid. So where third parties have let you down, Paul's no longer entitled to claim his money. The problem with that response, very simply, is that Paul didn't know any of these people and therefore couldn't have formed a legal agreement with them. So the contract he had is purely with you. So even if you've been let down, in law, that's entirely your fault, which leaves me with no other option than to easily come to the conclusion that you're entitled to all your money, Paul. Therefore, this court awards you £835.
Thank you, Judge.
There's a loving in your eyes all the way. If I listen to your eyes, would you say, oh, I'm a man without conviction? Oh, I'm a man who doesn't know how to stand the contradiction. You come and go, you come and go. Oh, sing with me.
All together.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank you, Judge.
This court awards you £835.